everybody, today I wanted to show you a couple tips and tricks on how to create a multi-board presentation using Illustrator. So this is what you would do if you have a meeting with a client and you have several boards that you want to present to them. You want to look organized, you want to look polished and prepared. So organizing your boards and knowing how to play with graphics with multiple boards is going to be important. So to start in Illustrator, I'm going to go ahead and choose Create New. And this custom little pop-up comes up. I do want to make sure I'm in inches, and I want a 17-inch by 11-inch. I don't know if I have that already here, so I'm just going to go ahead and customize this. So come in here, 17 for the width, and I want it 11 inches in height. And now I'm going to go ahead and choose 3 artboards. Everything else looks peachy keen jelly bean, so I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And Illustrator has given me 3 artboards that I can work with. So the first thing I want to do is determine the arrangement of my artboards. How do I want to present this? Am I presenting each of these boards one at a time to my client, or am I going to pin them up on a wall and present that way? So let's pretend that maybe what I want to do is I want to actually pin it up on a wall. So I want to configure these to kind of work with each other as though they were already pinned on the wall. To work with artboards, you come over here and right above the magnifying glass there is the Artboard Tool. It kind of looks like a piece of paper with a crosshair on it. Go ahead and click on that and you'll see that artboard number 1 kind of highlights in blue. So up here in the options bar, you can actually change the size of your artboard, but you'll notice that once you move your cursor into the artboard, you can also move that artboard around as you feel like you need to. I'm going to go ahead and kind of move it back in place. You can click on the next artboard and you can move that as well. So maybe I want to pin my artboards kind of similar to this. And maybe I want to have graphics that kind of play with this. So sometimes what I like to do is I like to get them a little bit more snug next to each other. And then notice that I could take a graphic and I can actually spread it out over the 3 artboards. And when I pin it up, I just make sure that the graphic aligns with those boards. So that's pretty cool, huh? So not only can you arrange your artboards in any way that you feel like you need to, but you can also add shapes to it so that they kind of bleed into each other. So that way when you pin them up, you can show people how you can actually make things flow from one artboard to the next. And so what's cool is that the graphics can actually be placed in the gray area, and for the most part they don't print, like it's outside of the printing boundaries of the artboard, and that's totally fine. So you can come up with some crazy cool designs if you want to, and it's all based on how you're arranging your artboard. Now those are pretty dramatic, and that shows you how to kind of help graphics flow from one to the other. But maybe what I really want to do is I want to create boards that look almost exactly the same way. So you can really arrange your artboards any way that you want to. But for instance, if I decide that I want a rectangle tool, I can bring him all the way down here. So let's say that maybe, oops, I hate it when I do that. Maybe I want to have all of my sheets have the same thing. So I'm trying to brand those sheets. And then let's say that I want my title to kind of fit inside this square. And I'm going to make that square like a gray color. Oh, this is going to be one ugly presentation, but just work with me. So I can take this shape and I can copy it with Control C, and I can paste it with Control V, and then I can place it right on the next one. You can also kind of see how it gives you guides to help you align. Let's see if I can get it to do it again. Sometimes they're a little picky. There we go. See how it has an intersect and it has some guidelines to help you? You can do it that way. You can also use your layers, so let me bring that over here. So in your layers, you can always grab a rectangle, make sure that it's highlighted in blue. I also just like to make sure that it's highlighted here as well. And you can come up here and you can duplicate that rectangle. And it doesn't look like anything happened, but once you kind of pull it down, it kind of duplicates on top of itself so that you can see how you can create different things with this. So you really have to do some pre-planning and some layout. Like, what do I want to accomplish? Do I want my boards to look exactly the same way? Or do I want to arrange my boards in a certain way that will allow me to kind of play with the graphics from board to board, so when I go to pin them up, I can. Let me put this over here. So just one more time to demonstrate. So maybe this will be the first one, maybe this will be the second one, and then maybe I want to place the third one right smack underneath there. And then I can have like perhaps a circle tool. So when I print this, it'll look like a circle once I pin it up, but on each individual board, it's going to have its own graphic. So that's how you can kind of play a little bit with multi-board presentations.